Hey friends, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Wendy and I'm with Inspire Ministries, and I love to do videos like this to encourage you, inspire you, and to challenge you to do better and be better. Today I want to talk to you about 3 dangers that could happen, 3 things that we need to be warned about as it relates to our life with Jesus. 3 dangers that I feel like we will encounter if we take our eyes off Jesus. So if this is where you want to be today, I welcome you, and let's just get right into the video. Now, I don't mean to purposely throw my husband under the bus, but I do need to confess something to you about him today. And I guess I need to start by saying this. He is a wonderful driver. He really is. And I feel the safest when I'm with him. Maybe it's due to the fact that I have this slight tendency to be a backseat driver. Maybe you're like me and you too are a backseat driver. I am that passenger who is always gripping at the handle when I sense that this person that is coming towards us is too close to the center line. I am the one who is likely to put their brakes on repeatedly when I sense danger in the passenger seat. Yeah, you heard that right. You know, the infamous invisible brake that resides on the passenger's floorboard. Yeah, that one. He does have a tendency, though, of getting distracted and as a result veers off of the center line. And I don't mean that he does this all the time, but I do notice that he does this. I mean, listen, I don't dare say, look at that. Because in an attempt to look at where I am pointing at, we might slightly veer off in the direction of my discovery. So what I try to do is just avoid all distractions at all cost. Like I said, probably not as much his fault as it is my own insecurity of driver safety. But it got me thinking about something. It got me thinking about Scripture. Now, if you've been with me for any amount of time, you know that that is not a shock. I tend to think of Scripture all of the time. David says this in Psalm 119, verse 32. He says, "I will pursue your commands, for you expand my understanding." And that's according to the New Living Translation. I will pursue your commands. And truly, this goes against every bit of flesh that you and I possess. It is not natural for us, not one bit, to pursue Jesus, let alone what he commands for us to do. In ordinary men and women, we don't see this running after Jesus the way, for instance, that we saw the Apostle Paul do it. Even in many Christians, we see a meager, slow pace as they pursue faithfulness. To pursue Christ, to run after him, means that there is to be this increase of energy in God's service. It's the very opposite of listlessness, idleness, taking it easy, or indifference. And the answer to the possibility of running with steadfastness and eagerness and consistency is actually found in Hebrews 12:2. The King James Version in part tells us that we are to be, quote, looking unto Jesus, the author and the finisher of our faith. We can pursue him best and align our hearts to his will the best when we are looking unto Jesus, when we keep our eyes on him. Oh, if there was something that I could tell you today, if there was one thing that I had, in other words, to tell you today, it would be the importance of keeping your eyes always fixated on him. If we look aside, if we take our gaze off of Jesus, even for what we might consider temporarily, there is great danger that can happen. And today, I want to share with you 3 important things that I believe can happen when we take our eyes off Jesus. The first one is we can linger too long. You see, we can linger too long on the wrong objects and completely miss the joy and the peace that Jesus died for you and I to have. We can linger too long in our discouraging situations that keep us tied to disappointment and despair. The second thing that can happen to us if we take our eyes off Jesus is we can swerve. Like my sweet hubby, who has this tendency to swerve and get us off course for a minute, we can completely swerve off of course. The problem with this is while we can manage to compensate for our error and realign ourselves on a steady pace after a while, it is a challenge. How many fatal accidents have happened due to temporary distractions? Think about it. It takes one wrong move and we could pay a price for it for the rest of our lives. And then the third and final thing that I believe is part of what can happen if we take our gaze off Jesus is we can become weakened in our faith. Our pace can slacken and we can be postponed by several paces in our spiritual advancement. Taking our gaze off of glory can make us feel weak and spiritually feeble. And when we feel weak and spiritually feeble, then we tend to give up and prematurely on the things that God has called us to do. The same thing happens to us when we're driving, right? We take our eyes off the road and peril might be laying just around the corner. We've got to be careful out there, friends. We have to keep our eyes on Jesus. It really, truly is the only safe response for those who are looking to follow him with their full hearts. Friends, I hope that this has been an encouragement for you today. I hope that it has been an inspiration. But more than anything, I hope it's been a challenge. I hope that you will look at these three things and compare them to where you are in your journey with Jesus. Do you have any of these things? Are any of these dangers present in your life? Are you lingering too long? Are you swerving unnecessarily even? And are you becoming weakened in your faith? Maybe it's time for you to realign your gaze to the one who died for you to have joy and peace. Friend, I hope that you have enjoyed this video. If you have, would you share it with somebody that you know and love who needs to know this encouragement today, who needs to have this encouragement today? Would you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already and hit that notification bell to be notified for every time I upload content? I'm so glad that you are here with me on this journey, friends, and I'm already looking forward to my next video. Have an awesome day with Jesus today. Bye, friends.